Space is another important element of visual communication. When we are designing a dashboard or any other user interface, space is very important, especially when we want to progressively reveal insights about data. Tableau released an awesome feature of dynamic zone visibility in version 2022.3, which helps us to enhance the dashboard design without compromising the desired layout. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how dynamic zone visibility feature can help us with dashboard design, and I'll be creating a dashboard from scratch to show you how we can utilize that feature in Tableau. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. Welcome back, this is Gurpreet from DataViz Canvas, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to create a dashboard from scratch and will share how we can use dynamic zone visibility feature to enhance the dashboard design. So before I start with the dashboard design, I just want to share the dashboard which I have created. This is one of the basic dashboards I have created just for explaining this tutorial. So I have created the top section where I'm showing the sales by category, which is furniture, office supplies, and technology. And below that, I'm showing the sales by product for individual category and the sales trend over period of time for that particular category. And here I have used dynamic zone visibility, which when we click on any sales category, you will see the bottom charts are updating accordingly. So I have created multiple charts at the bottom section here. So there is one for technology, sales by product, and technology sales trend. And I have the same for office as well as furnitures. But when we click on any of these category, the bottom charts are updating based on the dynamic zone visibility feature. Also, I have created a zoom in feature. If I want to see this tree map, I will simply click on this plus sign and it will zoom into that chart, and you can see the details by just hovering over to that chart. And we can simply click on the zoom out button and it will zoom out that chart as well. You can use this feature to hide sheets as well, and at the same time swap different kind of charts if you create. So this feature is quite handy and quite useful. So now before we jump into the dashboard designing again, I want you to understand what is the meaning of dynamic zone visibility. Well, with dynamic zone visibility, you can hide or reveal zones in Tableau Dashboard based on the value of the field or a parameter. As you interact with the dashboard, the zones on your dashboard appear or disappear. This results in a dynamic dashboard, and then it will be really interactive interface which will help you and the users to interact seamlessly without compromising your desired layout. And also, I want you to understand that this feature is supported by below field types. That is, a field or a parameter must be a boolean, which is true or false, and or it can be a single value. And the third one is that the field or the parameter must return a constant value independent of the structure of the viz, such as fixed LOD calculation. So if our criteria or the field types matches any of these three, we can use these features. Now let's start by creating a dashboard. So I will open a blank workbook where I have connected to sample superstore dataset. So first of all, I will create the first sheet, which I will name sales by category. And here I will bring the sales into row shelf, and I will bring the sales value, and I will simply change it into a bar chart. And I will bring the category into color shelf as well. And you can see different colors out there. You can change the color by just clicking on these ones, and you can select the one which you want. So I've chosen blue, orange, and green in this case. I can simply hide the header by simply going here and uncheck show header. And also I want to show the sales label, so I will simply go to the label mark and click on show mark labels. And also, if you want to format the label marking, you can simply go here and go to Format and go to Pane, and then you can change the number to currency standard or currency custom, where you can reduce the decimal places. So now that we have created sales by category, here I will create another worksheet which is called furniture by product. So I will create multiple sheets and then we'll create a dashboard, and then we will jump into dynamic zone visibility, how we can enable that on the dashboard. So in furniture by product, I will simply bring sum of sales value, and I will bring product names, and I will go to show me section and create a tree map, and you will see the tree map is created. Now I will do the same thing. So this is for everything, but I want it for furniture. So I will bring the category into filter shelf and select furniture. So here you will see all the furniture products in the form of a tree map based on the sales. So bigger the rectangle, the bigger the sales value. You can hover over and see like this particular product has sales of 21 grand, and the smaller rectangle will show the less sales value. So I will create a duplicate sheet of furniture by product, and I will change it into furniture by time period. So here I'm going to do is replace product name by order date, and I will change it into a bar chart, and I want the order date to be in month and year. So I will simply go to date format, more, select custom, and change it into month and year. And you will see here a bar chart is created with from January 2019 to October 2021. And I want it to be flipped, so I can simply go here where I will swap rows and columns. And once I click on that, you will see the bar chart is created this way. Again, I want the color coding to be done based on the category. So I will bring the category into the color marks. So now we have created these two. So I will simply select both of these and I will duplicate them. And I will duplicate them for office supplies and for technology. So I will change the name here and change it to office supplies. And what I have to do is simply change the category filter and select office supplies. So it will be easy to quickly create these sheets, and we will do it this way. And I want to change the color as well. So our office supply is orange in color, so I will select orange shade here. So we have consistency across the colors for each category. And I will do the same thing here. I want office supplies by time period, and I will change the name here as well. And once I do that, I will change the filter here and change into office supplies too. So another thing what you can do is when you go on these filter value, you can go to apply to worksheet and you can select the worksheet as well. So when you're working with office supplies, you can select both of them together. So that way, like one filter will be applied on both the sheets. So you don't have to go and change it in both the sheets. So I will show you in the next example when I copy these ones and I will duplicate it. And here I will change the names to technology. So we have done for furniture and office supplies. Now we will do it for technology. And here I will change the office category and I will apply the worksheet here. And instead of these four, I will simply do, so first of all, because if I change it now, it will remove the filter from the office sheet as well. So what I will do is I will simply remove it from here and I will bring the category again in here and I will select technology, press OK, and I will again go to apply to worksheet and select the selected worksheet here, and I will select the technology ones here. So this is the one where we have to still change the name. So I will select here and press OK, and I will go to this sheet and change the name, and you will see in the filter shelf. So let me change the name first. I will change it to technology. And if you see the filter section here, it is already technology is selected. This is because we have applied that filter on these two sheets. So now that we have all of these sheets ready, we will simply first go here and change the color of this to green. So we have all of them consistent. Now what we need to do is create a dashboard. So I will go to the size of the dashboard and I will select automatic. So what it will do is, based on the size of your screen, it will automatically adjust the dashboard. So here what we need to do is, first of all, I want to see the worksheet names. So I will bring the sales by category first, and I will use it as a floating container. That's fine here. And I will bring it here at the top. And I don't want the color coding, so I will hide that. And I will expand this here. And what I will do is I will go to the size and I will make sure I have fit the entire view. So this is the sales by category. I can hide this category by hiding field and row labels. So now you will see it here, all the bars reflecting the sales by category. Now I would like to bring a floating container here where I will be creating different sections. So I will bring multiple containers here. So the best way I find it easy, so that works for me. So you can try and play around with different containers and see what works for you best. So what I normally do is I will bring a floating container and I will bring the tiled sheets and bring like furniture into this and furniture by time period just at the bottom. So I have these two charts available and I will simply go and fit the entire view in both of them. So it will look a bit weird right now, but that's okay. We will fix it in a second. I will do the same thing and bring a floating container, vertical container, and I will do the same thing by clicking on tile and bring office supplies here and office supplies by time period. And again, I will make sure that we fit the entire view. Now we are left with the last one, so I will bring a floating vertical container. I will keep it here, and I will again change the settings to tile and bring technology by product and technology by time period. And I will change the view here and fit the entire view. So now we have 3 vertical containers with 2 sheets in each of them. Now what I want is to create a horizontal container. So I will bring the horizontal floating container here and I will expand it and I will select these sheets. So when you do one click, it will select the sheet, and when I double click on this one, it will select the whole container. So now I will press Shift key and drag that container into a horizontal container which we just created, and I will leave that. So you will see here the furniture, product, and time period vertical container is now sitting in the horizontal container. I will do the same thing with the office supplies. Do single click and then do double click. It will select the entire container. Then press Shift key and bring it down and move it on the side and leave it. So both of these sheets and the container are now into horizontal container. And let's do the same thing for this one. Double click, press the sheet, bring it here and leave it. So now we have these 3 different containers with different values. Now I want to select the vertical container. So I will double click on this one. We can go to layout and select the container. So this is the vertical container. This is the horizontal container. So in this horizontal container, we have 3 different vertical containers with furniture, office supplies, and technology. So we can adjust it by just expanding it till the top. And we don't want these labels as of now, so I will simply remove them. And I will select these container and click on this drop down and say distribute evenly. So I will do the same thing here and I will select the container and I will say distribute evenly. So now that we have created this dashboard, we want to make sure that it works Similar to this one where we select on furniture, office supplies, and technology, and it highlights those sections here. So how we can do that? So let's go back to the other version which we were working on, and I will remove this category as well. So what we need to do is we need to create a Boolean value parameter. So as I mentioned earlier, we need to make sure that we have the supported file type. So as I mentioned earlier, we need to make sure the fields which we create is supported by either Boolean single value or the field that returns a constant value. So in this case, we will go to any of these sheet and we will create a parameter which will be Boolean in form, and we will simply say here hide furniture and we will press OK. So now let's go back to the dashboard, and this is our furniture, right? So in furniture, let's say I want to hide the bottom section, which is furniture by time period. I will click on this sheet and I will go to the layout. We have two tabs, dashboard and layout. So I will go to the layout and I will select control visibility using value. When I click on that, you will have an option to select a particular value. So when you create either of those field types, it will pop up here automatically. So we created a Boolean parameter. Now you can see it hide furniture. So when I select that, then it is controlled by that particular parameter. So how it will work, so let's bring that parameter as well, hide furniture, and you will see it here, right? So when I change, so let me change it to a floating value. So when I change this value to false, just notice here what will happen on this section. So I change it to false and you will see that bottom section disappeared and this particular chart is expanded. If I change it back to true, it will go back to the initial view. So that way, even if you notice, the space within that container is used completely. So it removed that particular chart and utilized that entire space for this particular chart when we click on false value. So isn't it cool? Like it is utilizing that space without using the hacks which we used to do before by changing the parameter values and swapping the sheets using parameter actions and stuff. This way it is going to use the entire space the way you want it. So that's one way of doing it. So the other way is if I want to simply use these filter values, right? So if I click on technology, I want to only show these two charts in technology. If I click office supplies, I just want to see this section. So how we can do that? So first of all, let me remove this and I will remove this control visibility on this one. So let's start a brand new. So we will create a new parameter, which we will say select category. Oops, actually not a calculation. We need a parameter. So I will go back here again and create a parameter. And I will say select category and I will change it into a string and I want a list and I will use the value from category field, and we have furniture, office supplies, and technology. And by default, the current value is furniture. So I will select OK. And I will create three calculated fields. The first one is furniture only. In this, I will say select category, which is our parameter, equal to furniture. So this will create a single value Boolean expression, right? So if I click OK, you can see it's a true and false. It's a Boolean expression. So I will do the same thing and I will create a duplicate for office supplies, and the same thing I will do it for technology. And here I will change the furniture to technology, and let's do the same thing for office supplies, and we edit that one and we say office supplies. So we have created all of these calculations. So now let's go back to the dashboard and let's select this container. So the best part with dynamic zone visibility is that you can select even the container, not only sheets. So if you have multiple sheets in a container, you can select that container and apply that visibility criteria on that as well. So we have selected furniture. So I will go here and go to the sample superstore section and I will select furniture only. And same way I will go to office supplies and I will select the same thing but for office supplies only. And then I will go to technology section and I will control the visibility using technology only section. And let's bring that select category field parameter as well. And we will see here, and let's change it into floating. It is already, I want to bring it to the front. And here by default, it is selected as furniture, right? And if I change it to office supplies, you will see the bottom section automatically changes. And when we do the technology, it changes to technology as well. But I don't want it with the parameter here. I want these charts to change when I select on these values. So how we can do that? We can do simply by creating a parameter action. So when we go to the action, we will say select this workbook and we will add an action and say change parameter. When I click on that, a pop-up window will appear and here we say change category and I want to select only sales by category. So first I will select all of these sheets. So that's the quick way by selecting shift and clicking first and last sheet and then uncheck all of them. Then you select the one which you want. So sales by category is the one which I want. So I will select that, click on that and say target parameter which I want to change is select category. I will select that and the source field is category. And I will simply select that and press OK. So now the magic will happen. So keep an eye on this parameter and this selection. So by default, right now it's on technology. I want to change it to office supply. So I will click on that. You will see now the bottom charts are changed and the category here is changed. So that's how parameter actions work. So now we have set it up this way. So that's pretty good. I will remove this one. Okay, now let's move on to our next step where we want to do zoom in and zoom out functionality using dynamic zone visibility. So how we can do that? So first of all, I will create a worksheet, which I will give the name zoom in. And here I will create a parameter. Again, we will be creating a Boolean parameter. So I will type in zoom in and I will change the data type to Boolean and it's by default as true. I will click OK. I will create a placeholder calculated field, one for true value. And I will simply type in true and I will create another one for false, not the parameter. I want to create a calculated field and I will create the other one false. And both these values, I will bring it into detail mark, true value as well into detail mark. And I will change the mark type here to shapes and I will bring zoom in into the shape mark. So I will also show the parameter and by default it's true. So when it is true, I will go and select the shape and I will reload the shapes here. So I have saved the shapes into Tableau repository. I have shaped it on the shapes and I have created a custom folder where I have added these two shapes of the icons for maximize and minimize. So in this case, I will go to custom and I will select maximize here. And I will change this to false and I will change the shape for false to minimize or zoom out. And I will change the view to entire and I can adjust a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. And now I will bring this one into the dashboard. And I will bring it as a floating container. Not a container, I will bring it as a floating worksheet. And I will hide the title. I will keep the zoom in filter. And I will reduce the size here. Keep it like this. And I will put the zoom sheet on the right hand side. And you can adjust the side, make it bigger or smaller. And also I want to format it and make sure the background of the worksheet is transparent. So I will change it to none. And by default it is zoom in is false. So I will change it to true. So what I will do here is I will select the sheet and I will go to the layout settings and I will say control visibility using value, and I will select the parameter here and select zoom in. So what will happen here? So let's change it into false, and you will see it automatically changed into minimize sign and it's changed to false. But if I click on this one, nothing will happen because we haven't set up the parameter actions, right? So what I will do is I will go to the dashboard and I will go to actions, and I will create a new action for change parameter, and I will say zoom in out. And again, I will have to uncheck all the worksheets first. So I will select first one and I will go at the bottom, press shift and select that one. And now uncheck all of them together and then select the zoom in one, which I need. So when I click on the zoom in, I want to change the target parameter for zoom in. And I will change it into false value. Then I will change the value when we clear it to true and press OK. So now when I click on that, it is back into the normal view. And when I click on the zoom in, the value will change and it will zoom in. So now we can remove this particular parameter value. So this is for technology. Now if we do the same thing for office supplies, it will not work because we haven't set that particular field here. So I will select this sheet, worksheet here, and go to control visibility and select parameter zoom in. And now it will work here as well. And the last one is furniture, and we will do the same thing here and control visibility using parameter, and I will select zoom in here as well. So now this functionality is working on all of these ones. And another thing, if you notice here, when I click on zoom in, you will see a bit of animation happening here, right? So that is on by default, but I can show you how and where you can change this animation setting as well. So simply go to format and go to animations, and you will see a window pop up here. So by default it's on, and the duration is normally 30 seconds, so it's pretty fast. If I change it into 50 seconds, then if you see here, when I zoom in, you will see a really nice animation happening. And you can change this to 1 minute or 2 minutes if you want to slow it down further. And when you select, you will see how these tiles are moving in and out. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So I will keep it to 50 seconds. And your dashboard is created using dynamic zone visibility. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a message in the section below. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you can get notified for any other new videos. Thank you. See you in the next session.